All right, guys. Let's begin. Let's begin. Today will be a new video talking about rec shares. Let me get everything set up, guys, real quick. Cool. Let me get the link out real fast. All right. All right. Give me a second. This will be an interesting one. I talked about this on a different channel, on a different live stream, and decided to talk more about it since it's getting kind of popular and also something new to cover. Let's go over here. Give me a second, guys. I'll get everything ready. Just get the link out, and then we'll begin. But I will be doing some technical analysis, some review about when the company started, because these just came out, so they're relatively new. And based on them being new, this can be a good opportunity to jump into something like this. It is a very fast mover because we're talking about 2x leverage, so there's going to be a lot happening here. And for my group, the guys who want to make it to the live stream, you guys get any questions, let me know. I'll answer them as I go. Let me see, Telegram. It's my own channel real quick. And if you guys have an audio issue, just let me know. I'm currently, I'm using a good mic right now, but if there is some audio issues, just let me know. So I know I'll be looking at this at the same time, my channel. But let's see. But first off, guys, when it comes to T-Rec shares, basically go to their website, rexshares.com, and they have a couple strategies you want to look into. They have the covered call ETF, and they have the single ETFs. This is going to be Tesla long, Tesla short, NVIDIA long, and NVIDIA short. I'm going to be going through there in a couple details. Just give me a second. Let me share this out with my group. All right, here we go. I am live now. And also, guys, if you want to join my group, the Telegram link, it is in the description. So if you guys want to talk to me off off the YouTube and talk about more about trading and stuff, just let me know. We have a lot of people in the group there. But I want to dive in, just cover some of these details real quick, okay? So let's go off for the first one. They have this single stock ETFs, the T-Rex shares. Now, these are pretty interesting. We have the Tesla long and we have the Tesla short. We'll check out those first. So the Tesla long is going to be a T-Rex 2X long Tesla daily target ETF. So it's going to be basically following the Tesla stock on the 200% magnification. Now, it is very new. So when we look at the charts, so we're looking at TSLT. We're going to see a lot of movement. And it just came out the last couple days. So if you guys are looking at getting into this, you got to look at one. It's fairly new, and usually when things are new, they do typically head down. There's not a lot of movement. It's not a lot of big players yet, so you got to be very, I'll say, cautious and patient when looking at this stock. Let me see. Make sure my audio is not messing me up at all. Give me 1 second, guys. Make sure I mute this. All right, cool. There, that's mute. So we have something that we can get into. So when we're looking at Tesla, the underlying asset, let's check that out first, okay? Give me 1 second while I load this up. So we're looking at the underlying asset. Tesla overall is a very volatile stock. Like, it is extremely, it's a big mover. So when it comes to trading, scalping, there's a lot of strategy you can employ with this. So let's hit it to the weekly, and let's see. And then I'm going to correlate it back to TSLT and TSLZ, okay? Here we go, right here. So overall, if we look at Tesla, Tesla has been moving quite a bit. Like, in the last year, last like 2 years, it hit a high of $414, bounced off of a huge low of $106, and now we're trending down and possibly bouncing off of this low right here, or we might be heading down lower. So we have a couple things that could possibly happen. So when looking at getting into the other assets like here, And that's what I was talking about before. We might be bouncing off this low. So we might be bouncing from here to here. Now we got to put some things in perspective. You know, we're at a very high of the market. So if we look at the indices across the board, we're all relatively high. And so if we're looking at relatively high markets, is this a good time to get into a buy position, go long Tesla? Now, if you're looking at getting into options or getting into, you know, just non-leveraged, just buying one for one shares, then you gotta, you know, play out like what's the best risk versus reward when it comes to this. So here's our target zone right here. Let me zoom in a little bit better for you guys. All right, here we go. Let me put a box right here. Okay, a second. And once again, guys, any questions, comments, hit me up or just join my Telegram. We talk about trading, finance there, and go into more details into trading automation, what I actually prefer, so you guys can catch moves without actually being present in the market. So we have this zone right here that is typically that either can hold and maintain this, or we can break and head down lower to these zones down here. And I know that if you guys are getting into TSLT and TSLZ, we might have some issues. Okay, here we go. Where's this box at? Alright, here we go. This is a basic zone. So we have two possible zones that you can either respect this area right here, or get rid of this box. You can respect this area right here, or bounce down, probably do like a small pullback, and then bounce down to here. That is a lot of space. You're talking about nearly $40. So if you're buying, you know, one share straight out like $200 and you lose $40 on it, you want to be pretty careful on what's happening, because that's a big move. You're talking about, you know, 25% of your cost is your equity basically being chipped off. But if you guys are going to leverage, you know, go into this reverse fund. So I have the charts for those here. Here's TSLZ. That's an inverse daily ETF, and here's our TSLT long. Okay, so first one, let's go to TSLA, not this one right here. Here we go. Obviously, it's going to be heading down because it's basically following it now. So if you're looking at buying it, you are not buying it at the same price as Tesla, since it's 1-to-1. But if it does bounce off, I want to see, and this is why it's so interesting to see if Tesla bounces off this low right here. Give me a second. If Tesla bounces off this low right here and does something like this. Give me a second. Let me find my arrows. Sometimes it is so annoying dealing with TradingView. Like half the things that I find that like disappear while I'm in the process of looking for it again. Like I can't even find my own arrows. Oh, here it is. If Tesla bounces right off this zone, I want to see how much the other assets, TSLT and TSLZ, how much they bounce to. That is something that I think that most people should compare to when looking at other ETFs or ETNs, because if you're going to be looking at the bounce, how much, if it does bounce, how much can I leverage to make the gain, and how much can I lock in my trade? So basically, be patient in these moves, because one, they're new, so you don't know so much and how they will react, especially how Tesla is. But I wanted to expose this a little bit to you guys. I'm fairly new to it, so I want to be talking about this more, especially how YouTube's been doing with rec shares and stuff, and with also funds like this, because I think many people are looking at getting some type of income with these types of FANG stocks. There also is FEPI, which we can cover over here, and here you go. FEPI is not. It's also too relatively new, so we got all new things. So we have a lot of things to cover, because when it comes to even like looking at like some of the bigger players, none of that stuff is even out yet. So if you're looking at holders, it's not going to be available. So there is some risk involved in that, but to me, I think the best thing when it comes to trading with new assets is just being patient, waiting it out, stuff like that. Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. All right, so that's not going to be too difficult, like just waiting it out. I mean, I know it's pretty difficult for traders to do, just to sit on their hands and before taking action. But with all this volatility is happening in the markets today, it can also save you a lot of money too, especially when coming to just a Tesla, because I think a lot of people are aiming to buy right now, and it can either break or bounce. To me, I think the best position is just to be a little bit patient and see if we have another rally right here to be pushed up higher. Because I mean, if you start looking at the weekly range, like the weekly range of Tesla, like here, let me zoom in a little bit more. Tesla, like just off the one candle prior, you're talking about nearly, if you took a short position, you're talking about like nearly $50 in one candle. So that's a pretty big move. So that's like $50 out of 250 bucks is gone, like doom. So this is a very easily, like you can easily scalp this, you can trade it. It has a lot of movement. So if we did something like Tesla and we hit the daily, give me a second, or actually the 4 hours probably a little bit better. And you start doing like a simple moving average. Give me a second. Indicators. Just do a simple moving average. Oh wow, that's a little bit more than I expected. Let's just do moving average. Oh, here we go. So you don't have to be so complex with it. You can just make it very easy for yourself. Simple moving average. I'll just take out fractals. I'll take this off too. And when it comes to scalping, you don't have to make it so difficult for yourself. Moving average. Here we go. Let's do like a 20. Let's do inputs. Maybe 15 on the daily. No, 4 hour. Okay. So, I mean, if you get some big movements, especially with this right here, you can actually make it a little bit longer. Let's make the period, smoothing period. Let's do, so 25 and 10. Let me see. It's not giving me really updates right here. Let me delete this right here. 9. So even with this right here, like we have a lot of space between this current indication right here, our moving average, and our current low. But when it came to this previous areas, like just using a simple moving average, once it crossed over and it was a couple candles over, like this right here, and we bounced off of it, like this was a pretty good steady buy. When it crossed over, maybe 1 or 2 candles, you could have sold your position here, but since it bounced back up, you could have sold over here. So you're getting relatively very similar price. So that's why, like, if you guys are looking at trading anything with Tesla, just have an entry and exit plan. And if you have an entry and exit plan, you can save yourself a lot of, poor entries and poor exits. So to head back to the reg shares, and why that's important. Once this starts building up more structure, then we can start planning out entries and exits with TSLT, TSLA, stuff like that. I'm sorry, TSLT and TSLZ. Planning entries and exits. So if you guys taking this from a trading perspective like I am, then we can possibly build up a plan for this. But I just want to dive into this information. I know it's a short stream, not much notification on it, but if you guys want to check out the rest of my videos, please do. I have a huge selection of trading videos. And also, when it comes to my live streams outside of this one, I like to test out robots or test out trading strategies to see which one's more efficient or which one's better. So check that out, guys. Also, if you need any information from me or my website, just head to there. There's my website, andrejmcclinton.com. More about investing to portfolio, trading signals, and if you guys are programmers who like to do automation, check out the MQL4, MQL5 file. Alright, but that's the video, guys. Thank you guys for making to this live stream for the few people who do, but who don't, just watch it and then we can have a discussion. Check out the Telegram, guys. It's in the description. I'll put it into the comments, and that's it, guys. See you later.